We're back, gang, with another episode of Money Emotion Mondays. You guys already know we come with the best topics. So today's topic is low key, a pretty deep one. Like we're deep diving into something that I feel like a lot of people kind of avoid talking about, and it's the hidden cost of staying comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
I know I've been in it. You've
I've
probably
been in
for
it.
sure been in it. The people watching have for sure been in it, whether you like it or not, or realize it or not. You've been through a point in your life where you've been comfortable and it's cost you some type of opportunity or pleasure or some type of something that you wish you should have done. Um, and so, yeah, so welcome back to Money Emotion. And yeah, so I think we'll just jump right into it, honestly. And one thing that I will say before we jump into it, and something for you guys to kind of ponder about as we go through the episode is playing it safe actually the riskiest decision? So as we go through the episode, think about that. I think for myself at some point in my life, I thought, if I save and I, do the right things, have money in the bank or have a checkings and savings account and I do this and do that right and, you know, you adult in a responsible way, like that's what being comfortable and safe is doing. But I think as many times as we said before, like now that we've done a business, we start to realize that if you want an average life, and even now, like doing those things can't even get you an average life because
Yeah.
of how expensive everything is. But we realize now that like you have to take risks, you have to bet on yourself and be smart still, putting money aside to take, side quest ventures to, be able to afford to maybe lose money to make money. But
Yeah.
yeah, further ado, we'll kind of jump right into it and we'll say why comfort is so attractive. You want to jump
hmm
into it?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's attractive at all. Um, but it's attractive to your. Well, you find it attractive because
Mm-hmm.
it's what I think it's what you know, right? It's what you're told growing up. Like you were saying, like you've you had the mentality of if I just save, and
Yep.
keep working, playing it safe essentially, like that's gonna get me to my end goals, right? Having
Mm-hmm.
the average life, which again is fine, There's nothing wrong with if you're happy with that life, that's totally fine, but wanting more out of life, trying to maximize your potential and see where I guess life can really take you. Unfortunately, you're not gonna get there just doing average shit. Like you have to take
Nah.
risk. You have to take risk, unless you get like a lottery ticket, right? Where you freaking you win the lottery and you get to have all these things, But even then, like that's risky itself because not being disciplined on how to manage it, you could
Mm-hmm.
lose it all real freaking quick.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And some people spend decades every single day, whatever, wishing like, oh, $10 a day, $5 a day is gonna get me the lottery ticket that I need to get out of my heart situations.
dude, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So
dude.
it's just like mentality and perspective around it. Um, but I think like there's something that's super important, and I think it's like why people stay in the situations that aren't making them happy. Like
Mm-hmm.
think there's a false reality built upon the idea of comfort a lot of the times because we're systematized by the education system, by sometimes our family household traditions that like we're so used to, like, hey, your dad did this to get you this. But and we're grateful, like I'm not knocking my parents for anything they've done for me, but they still were limited into what they were capable of accomplishing in terms of like
Yeah.
gathering the knowledge that I'm gathering now. Like this is a
Mm-hmm.
new knowledge, like learning how to do a business, learning how to like invest in stocks, learning how to do, well, crypto's a little bit newer, but like learning crypto, learning about real estate. Like anytime I bring these conversations up about like real estate investments, things like that, it's something like at least from my experience, my parents are always like, "Oh no, like if you have a house, like you have a house and that's fine. Like you only need one house. You don't need to get another house to rent out. You don't need another apartment. You don't. Why do you need to pull equity out? Like they don't see the values in those things, and it's because it's comfort, right? They realize how much effort they've put to get to where they are, and they're like, I worked so hard to be comfortable. I worked all these years. I gave my children a great life, which they did, but
Yes.
they reach a
Yes.
certain age where they cap themselves and think that it's like, all right, well, I've done what I can. I don't need to go higher, which maybe they don't, but I always wonder like why stop at 40 years old or 50 years old that you can continue doing more, right? Like you got 20, 30, 40 more years to live, and there's people that are super wealthy now that started at
At
45, started
45.
at 50, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like
that is so true.
when I try to have like some of these conversations with elder people, people that are on that age range, it's often similar to the mentality that like my parents have. It's like, why did my job already? I provided for you. I have a house. I've got a roof over your head. Like, why do I need more? And that's all great. Not knocking my parents for nothing. I think that's amazing. They killed it. They with coming to this country with nothing, but um,
I
it's
think
it's
a
interesting.
lot
It's
of it is just
comfort.
like there's very they're not knowledgeable on these things. They don't
Yeah.
know they exist. Like when I try to explain like the whole crypto thing to like my grandparents or even like my dad, you know, and I physically showed them like, dude, like this number actually is real. Like this, I could literally transfer it to my account.
Yeah.
For them, it's just like, nah, it's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the fucking fine line of like I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't want to take that risk because, like you said, I built all this already. Like, why would I want to risk it just for this that I don't even know anything about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even for us, right, when we first started like looking into crypto, the only reason why we really, excuse me, I think why we really like started investing in it was because of Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Andy showed us real numbers, told us like the logistics all around it, like things to pay attention to in the outside world,
Mm-hmm.
and then it wasn't until then where, well, at least me for myself, where I was just like, oh fuck, dude. So if I just pay attention to these things and invest money like that I have extra, I can grow. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I saw it and physically did it and was like, oh shit, I just transferred X amount of money into my account. It's real. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So I
It's
think
tangible at the end.
exactly, exactly. So I think it's just a knowledge thing too, bro, that like really holds elder people back.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think like there's often topics that are talked about when we're talking about comfortability, whether it's in like your personal life, your work life, your relationship life, your there's a lot of things and it's like, oh well, I was in this job that I hated for 10 years, 15 years because I was already established. I already had built 10 years of my life around this job and it's hard for me to leave now because, you know, even I say this now, like it's hard to find a job that's going to pay me my starting rate where I'm at now.
Dude,
It's
same.
like I've looked at so many jobs and I'm like, well, why would I take an X amount of pay cut to start at a company that's said to be better? But I'm like, can I afford to take that much of a pay cut when I have all these other things that I'm trying to also do on the side, right? I think if I had
Yeah.
none of this going on, then I would have been like
Fuck it.
more intrigued and be like, maybe fuck it, like let me take the risk. But I have like this, the podcast, I have the brand, we do the production stuff that we do on the side as well. And I try to invest also in like stocks and things like that. So for me, it just doesn't make sense to leave somewhere when where I'm at right now, I don't love the job, but it pays me really well for what I do.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like, and I know for sure, like we always remind ourselves, like, we're
Yeah.
not going to be here forever, which is why we do all these things. And I think it's different for when someone is comfortable with no plan for themselves. They're just comfortable and disappointed and
Mhm.
hate their jobs or their whatever situation they're in, and they're not actively doing something. But for us, we're not maybe fully happy. I'm not gonna say I hate my job, but I also know that I'm not gonna be happy there forever, and I have bigger aspirations than my current job can ever give me. So I know my goal is to use this as a stepping stone to get all these other things funded and
Mm-hmm.
on like on a rocket ship to fucking go to the moon with Elon Musk and
Sheesh. Yeah.
help me get out of the situation that I am, right? Like, and if it doesn't happen today, tomorrow, next week, next year, it's gonna happen eventually. But the goal is like it's gonna happen, right? For me, at least, like I strongly believe that it's gonna happen for both of us. Um, and so we're actively working on it. So we're not just content and comfortable with, hey, I hate my job, like I'm doing nothing, you
Yeah.
know?
No, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't leave. Dude, as much as I would love to, I wouldn't leave Rouse unless I was going to get somewhere that was pay me more at the end of the week. Not just like as far as, because I work a lot of overtime. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's like, oh, bro, well, you can get paid this amount of money. Like, yeah, bro, but am I going to make this much money at the end of the week? And if I'm not, then honestly, I wouldn't be comfortable taking the risk for the same reasons that Bruce just mentioned. Like, all these other side projects, plus my family and everything else, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
at that point it's kind of stupid.
Yeah. And so I think like this is a big issue that a lot of people encounter where it's like, well, my 9 to 5 consumes me. I have a family. I have this going on outside of work. I don't have time to invest in myself, or I don't have time to make for a side hustle, or all these excuses.
Cap.
And the root cause is comfortability. You don't want to feel uncomfortable going to work with 4 hours of sleep, going to go and clock in after work to work on whether it's content creation, building your business, building a side hustle, learning about a side hustle, learning how to invest. You need to, those all things make you feel uncomfortable because they're things you're not knowledgeable in. They're things that you're not certain if they're going to work out. They're things that you may lose money in. They're things that maybe mentally, emotionally, physically, all these above exhausting.
Yeah.
And so people see that and they turn around and run the other way because you're just like, fuck, dude, I'm comfortable where I'm at. Well, even if I'm not
Facts.
comfortable and I'm stressing about being paycheck to paycheck, people will rather choose that than being paycheck to paycheck, learning a skill on the side for free 99, like through
Dude.
YouTube, through a book, through something, and eventually have something that they can leverage from,
Mm-hmm.
which blows my mind. It's
Oh,
insane.
that pisses me off now, dude.
Which is crazy because dude, we do so much out of our 9 to 5s. He works like crazy
I was so
hours.
tired today,
I work a full-time job, and we still on our days off meet up. He comes out of work. Not, we've said this so many times, like we sound like broken records, but we make time for the shit that we want to try to accomplish. And given we don't even know if this is gonna work, right? Like
yeah, we're
we don't
cooked.
know if the podcast is ever gonna make us money, or if the brand is ever gonna get to the point that we want it to, or if our YouTube is gonna get to where we want it to. But we do it with the intentions of, hey, there's a purpose, there's a reason, there's hope behind it. There's, we're putting our blood, sweat, and tears into it, so this can happen in the future, right? But that's the risk that you have to put on the table. It's risk for reward.
Dude, yeah, man. That pisses me off, dude, when I hear stuff like that.
Yeah. So what would you say? Something to kind of get the mind going. Have you ever stayed somewhere longer than you should have because it felt safe? Or why do you think people choose familiarity over opportunity? And can comfort become a trap? I feel like we kind of already covered all this, but in a more personalized for yourself.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucking, yeah. Well, I mean, yes. I've said this before. I've gotten opportunities to work for like other companies and stuff. Like for example, like Frito-Lay, Coca-Cola, which also pays like very well. And it's a lot of like, it's a lot less work than what I do at my Ralph's job for about the same pay, you know? Um, and I kind of do regret it now, just because of the schedule. Like
Mm.
their scheduling, they can start like at 4 a.m. and then get off like around 11:30 or 12, whatever hours it is. But when I think about it, it's like, dude, I work so much, and it's like literally overnight from like 11 to like 11. So I think in that aspect, like I kind of do feel like I just stayed night crew for too long
Mm.
instead of like doing other shit where it's like, okay, well, I could have just promoted and gone level up and like probably by now, like if I would have took the promotion 3 years ago, I could have been like possibly like top pay of like a co-manager or something, right? Which is way more than what I make now.
Fuck. Gosh
So
darn it.
gosh darn it, yeah. So I think I have, and I mean even now, like I would say that I have stayed in this place for too
Mm.
long. But again,
Shit happens for a
shit
reason.
happens for a reason.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
Um, if can comfort become a trap?
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm trapped right now. I can't leave. This is
He's like,
exactly.
let me free.
Yeah, dude, I'm trapped right now, and
Damn, dude.
it's
It's
crazy because people would never look at it that way. Look at it that way. I look at it that way now because of like we've been saying, like we just have different goals and different mindsets now. Where I don't want to be there anymore. I want more out of life, and it sounds ungrateful, but and I am grateful, but it sounds ungrateful. But I am trapped. Like I can't leave that job unless I find something that's gonna pay me the same amount or more. I
hmm
can't, and it would have to be the same around the same hours, right? Because now my time is fully invested in all of the stuff that we're doing, which is during the day.
yeah.
So, dude, yeah, unfortunately, it does trap you, dude.
Fuck
It
yeah,
does
dude.
trap
Yeah.
you.
Honestly, it's crazy because I also feel like the same way too, where similar story to him, where I didn't promote earlier on in my career because I was going to college and thinking like I was gonna use my degree, which I still can, and you never know. But currently not using it. So I went to college. I feel like not completely waste of time because I made connections and I met a lot of people and I still keep in touch with some. But overall, like degree wise, I paid out of pocket for my college 4 years out of my own pocket. So for me personally, it feels like
Cooked.
damn, I paid 3K every semester, so 6K a year over 4 years on my own, and I'm like, fuck, dude. With that money, I could have like dumped it into the stock market. I
Or you
could have
could
had a down payment for
Bitcoin.
a house. I could have, yeah, like that time is when Bitcoin was fucking 7K, 8K. Like
Dude,
imagine,
that's
like
crazy,
obviously
man.
can't dwell on the past. I still am grateful for the experience, but now that I look back at it, it's like I should have thought about if I was really 100% gonna use my degree and being 100% certain versus like, oh, I might use it and go to college just because I felt like it was something that I needed to do, you know? Now I feel like if I were to go back, I would be like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna just learn business. Because I ended up finding passions around business and filming and like doing all this content creation stuff. But yeah, I could have promoted then, which would have helped me be at a higher position now. Cause now I'm just like, well, fuck. I would have been like way up in the company probably, and at my age, and I would have been making like, fuck, I don't know, like a good amount more for sure. Probably like close to the top pay from the next position. So,
Do you think you would still do you think we would still be involved in this world if you were in
so,
that position?
so that's the thing. I think we would still be involved, maybe, just because I feel like yes, I would be making more, but I just feel like it be have me being able to make more would have gave me the luxury to like invest more into the businesses
Mm-hmm.
than like we do right now, which is we've invested a lot of money. But I'm just saying, like, I think
Shebang.
I don't know, or maybe if it was whether like it was the business or doing even real estate, like something that I've always wanted to do is real estate, and I feel like I don't make enough to try to play in that league yet, but it's something that I want to do. So I feel like I would have been able to do that if I was on the next step
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Like how you said, like if you're making
Yeah.
co-manager top pay, like dude, they make bank, right?
Yeah. It's like
So
120.
yeah, like over six figures for sure.
Yeah.
I would have probably been around that much too if I had the next position and like around top pay. So I think that would have allowed us to come together and be like, yo, we make 10K extra that we can fuck around with, and let's put it together and buy a fucking house.
That's
You
true,
know?
because we did always talk about that.
Yeah, let's do a house and let's rent it out or
Yeah.
whatever, and then like, you know, then we have like a property, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my only thing where it's like I was literally saying earlier to him was I want so many things and I don't have enough money and I'm just tired of
Yeah.
being average. Like I want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
up here already. And it's a grind, dude. It's
Yeah.
a grind, but for sure being at my job right now feels like, damn, I'm grateful for the pay, I'm grateful for the opportunities,
Yeah.
but I do feel stuck. Like I'm working for someone else's pocket,
Dude, yeah, and they're
you
fucking
know?
lames.
So the people at the top are getting fucking millions of dollars while we're doing all this hard work in the stores and I'm not getting paid terrible, but I know at the level that I'm at it's not like life changing money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bro, not only that, but it's so physical. Well, at least what we do, at least.
yeah,
It's so
physically
physically
demanding
demanding, dude. Where
and mentally too. That shit not
and
for the weak.
mentally, yeah, draining, dude. The thing is, like, these people talk down onto their people. The management talks down to next management, and it just trickles down, right? So by the time it comes to you, it could. You guys know this yourself. It could be so draining where it's like, dude, I don't want to do shit after work,
Mm-hmm.
dude, and that, dude. But I think once you overcome that, like, I think if you can have like a positive mentality and just be
Yeah.
like, well, fuck it, dude. Whatever fucking happens at work,
Yeah.
holiday wraps, it is what it is, and still do your stuff throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I think you're fucking well off, honestly. Even just having that like mentality, because
No,
nobody has that shit
100%.
anymore.
Yeah, dude, because literally someone just asked me at work 2 days ago. They're like, are you happy at Target? And I was just like, I wouldn't say I'm fully happy, but I'm not unhappy. I
Hmm.
think I'm happy and blessed for the opportunities, what I'm doing. You know, it's giving me the life that I have now and it funds my bills, it pays everything. And so I can't complain about that. I just think I wish that I can do what I do outside of work full time.
Hmm.
And if you see it that way, we're like, well, this pays for that, and as long as this is paying for that, in the meantime, and I'm growing this on the side, with the goal of this getting me out of my main job, then I feel like you
Yeah.
tend to kind of ease off of it a little bit and be like, all right, it's not as bad because there's goals behind this, right? Versus for people
Yes.
where they get comfortable and then again like I said earlier, you get comfortable being all upset about all these problems in your life but you're not doing anything to get you out of your own situation. You're choosing at this point to stay there,
Dude, yeah.
you know.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly. Same
You literally have
but
to
different.
same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally have to, dude. Nobody's coming to save you. And it's funny because I just told this to a friend that was like all depressed and shit, and I'm like, dude, look, you can't. It sucks and it sounds fucked up, but literally no one's gonna save you. Nobody's gonna motivate you to do shit and change your
No.
lifestyle, dude. Like, I wasn't able. I didn't stop drinking because someone grabbed my hand and said, "Hey, stop, cut that shit out." You know, I didn't have
Took out the
fucking.
cinto on this dude and said
Yeah, like I noticed that it was an issue, and I'm like, okay, instead of doing it every day, I'm gonna do it just on the weekends. Then from that, I kind of just slow. You do baby steps, you know, start
mm-hmm.
doing it baby steps, and then next thing you know, dude, like you're doing just you start making progress, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I actually don't even need this. Like, why am I tripping?
Yeah. 100%. I agree. All right. Well, enough said on the comfort spot because yeah, I think you guys get the point. So we'll move on to the cost of doing nothing. We've kind of already mentioned this already, but what is comfort actually costing you? The people want to know. And honestly, the comfort is costing you a lot, dude. I would say personally, people are so focused on the risks that it takes to, you know, take action or chase your dreams versus focusing on the positive outcome that could happen, right? It's obviously not guaranteed,
So what
but
if?
the what you're like, dude, you don't want to be that person on your deathbed. Be like, dude, what if I did this? What if I tried that? What if I jumped out of the airplane and like skydived? You know, people live those lives, and then at the very end they're like telling their children or their grandchildren like, do this for me, do that for me, make me happy. But it's like, you could have done that for yourself. And it's like, I think about that shit all the time. Like, dude, I want to do everything that I fucking can for myself, so that when I hit the hay and I'm just like, I'm ready to go, I'll be like, I'm ready to go. Like, I did everything I needed to do. I set my family up for success. I set them up with like all the tools that I was able to gather on my own. And like, when I leave, I could leave in peace, like knowing that they're in good hands. Whether that's in 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, like every day I try to do what I can for myself, or like just in general, to like benefit not just me but like everyone in my family. So I think, like, think about it that way. And I know some people think about it that way, but they overthink it. And I know that is like a common issue with so many people, like they overthink, or they're just not used to, how you said, like they don't want to take that risk. Like they're comfortable being where they're at, and it's just like, but are you really? Like when you really sit down and think about everything that you've done, like, don't isn't there a part of you inside that says like you could always do a little more?
Dude,
You know?
yeah. Dude, you know it's so funny, man.
And
Out
maybe that's just like a toxic trait to have that we have. I don't fucking know. Maybe there's like a
toxic
loose,
trait.
maybe that's like a red flag for us or something.
Dude, man.
Like a loose screw for us that we have in common, where it's like, dude, we always striving to do a little more?
I don't think so. Though. I
Well, fool,
honestly
because it's not
think that's a
it.
great trait to have, bro.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it like in messing around, but I'm saying it
Oh,
like in, because you don't find that common in a lot of people,
you don't.
or they want to do just the minimum, and then they're just like, all right, I can stop here. Like I did what I had to.
Yeah, no, you don't find that anywhere actually. I would say
Yeah.
the average person is just fucking. They'll do the very minimum just to get by and then call it a fucking day,
Mm-hmm.
Which you're gonna piss me off. Because
Oh
I
yeah.
hate seeing that
No,
shit.
yeah. I already fired all of the staff I worked actually.
Yeah.
Um.
Dude, you know what though? Man, I think doing all these things and like some of like these projects that we are working on that have been like taking us back and thinking of like stuff that we did as kids, bro. Like it really makes me realize, bro, that time is the it's the thing that you'll never get back. You could get you could lose all the money and figure some shit out to make it back. You can
Yeah.
you could lose everything and get it back except for time. That's the one thing that you will
Unless
never
any of y'all know
freaking
how
get
to
back.
time travel, let me know, dude. I'll go back to like 18 and buy some Bitcoin and
Drop the link in the
yeah,
chat for
yeah.
us.
Drop the link in the chat. Yeah. Drop it in the comments, guys, if you know how to time travel. Shoot the link or something, or the subscribe thing or
Dude,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a subscribe button on the bottom of our channel. If you hit it, you could actually time travel.
That's a bar.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
a
saying.
bar.
So in case you guys are not subscribed, I'm putting it out there. You could time travel if you hit the subscribe button.
It's true. That is true. Yeah, bro, but dude, that's the one thing, dude. Just like you said, like I don't want to regret anything, dude.
Yeah.
One of the biggest regrets that I have is like us not recording all the shit that we did. And we
Mm.
recorded a lot of shit, but during that time, like it wasn't like posting it on YouTube. Like that
Yeah.
wasn't the popular thing to
Yeah.
do.
Well, people were posting on YouTube, but it was like a gaming era where that was when like everyone was posting them playing video games.
Yes.
Like the Call of Duty,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the all that stuff. Now, like it's a vlogging, streaming era where everyone is posting about what they're doing in their life.
Mm-hmm. But
Everyone is consuming their day to days.
yeah, see, like, cause I'm thinking about like, dude, we
Cause
just did so much dumb, funny
Well,
stuff,
that's because
dude.
that's what I'm saying. Like now, the things that we were doing back in the day without even cameras out, we were just doing for the fun of it. We were doing to just hang
Yeah.
out as homies and things like that, doing all these random adventures. And if we recorded that stuff and posted it on YouTube, it would have been like shout out to like a Danny Duncan. Like with Danny Duncan, I don't know if you know that YouTuber. He literally just lives
Yeah,
his
yeah,
free
yeah,
ass
yeah,
life. He
yeah.
don't give a shit about anything.
Who
He be
says
doing like
savage?
yeah, just savage shit. And his content reminds me of like being you and living your inner child self,
Yeah.
no matter like how old you are. Like that was us when we were kids. We were doing whatever the fuck we wanted without even like thinking about consequences and hurting ourselves and things like that. And so I know like if we recorded it and posted it on YouTube at that time, we probably would have went viral because we were
Oh,
doing
for
some
sure, dude.
jackass shit.
Yeah, we
Like
were literally doing jackass shit,
yeah,
dude.
like straight up, it
That
was
was a big
crazy.
influence on us, actually.
Yeah, jackass. We were insane, and we weren't obviously the only kids, but we were fucking some badass kids. Like we were terrible. We were doing some crazy shit. I know there's some
Yeah.
of you guys out there that are old
Oh
enough to
man.
remember, but we used to tie ourselves. Kind of side topic, but we used to tie ourselves on electric power wheels. We were grown kid, like teenagers already. We
Yeah.
would tie a rope from the front all the way onto like a bike, and sometimes we would do one bike or
Two
sometimes two
bikes.
bikes, and we'll put two strings, one power wheel. Someone will sit on the power wheel, and we'll bike, or the people on the bike will pull that person, and we would like swing and turn hard, and we would drift it and like slam into stuff.
In the middle of the street,
Yeah,
man.
we had
That's.
no chill.
I'm surprised none of us got hit by a car,
It
dude,
was
because that
actually
was bad.
insane. Yeah. So just kind
Damn.
of side story on the stuff that we
We
would
should
kind
do
of do
that
to
shit
give you guys
again.
perception of that.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
um so
We should do that shit again.
hell no. I'm too fragile, dude. I'm gonna get shin splints.
Oh
So
man.
what would you say? Fear of failure or fear of judgment? What is holding people back?
Failure for sure. Well, a little bit of both, but I think the main thing, people are scared to fail, dude. People are scared to fail and then be judged
For
about.
failing?
Yes,
So it's like two in one.
two and
Like
one.
one comes first before the other?
Exactly.
I see. And actually,
Yes.
I would even go to the further extent and say that the order in that can be flipped depending on the person. So, like, you might be
Correct. Yes.
fear of being judged, and because you're having a fear of being judged, you're gonna fail,
Yeah.
and that's where the fear of failing is gonna come from. So you're gonna have the fear of being judged, and then that's gonna cause you to fear failure, or you can fear failure, and that's gonna have
Mm-hmm.
people like being fear to fear the judgment. You know,
Dude,
so.
yeah. Yeah, you can't. You just. Damn, dude. And it's so. It sounds easy to say, dude, because. I mean, how many times have we freaking failed?
Too
And
damn many
But
times.
what kept us rolling was not giving a fuck about anybody, any judgment coming from the outside world, right?
Clip
Dude, I
that chat,
can't tell you how many times where like something didn't go the way we wanted to go, and
dude.
somebody would say, "Oh, well, you should have done this or you should have done that," and it was just like, "Oh, sure,"
Yeah.
and like obviously, you do want to take feedback.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying completely shun them out, but you can't take it in like a judgmental way where it
Mhm.
affects you because then that gives that puts you in like a creative block, I would
Yeah,
say.
it's funny too because I know I catch myself sometimes too. Like, I don't ever try to be like that person of like, oh, you should have done this, you should have been done that, da, da. But I mean, I think doing business now like has taught me a little bit. I'm not an expert. I'm not gonna act like I can help anyone start and build their own business and be successful. That's not what I'm saying.
I can hit me up.
But I think there's times where I feel like we are super creative at times and we meet with friends and they're doing their own thing or they're starting their own thing and we'd be like, hey, like we've done something similar, like you should try this. And sometimes like the reactions are like, oh yeah, like, no, I know. And it's just like, then we let them do their thing and then we see them do something different and we're like, ah, like that's why it kind of didn't work out kind of thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because of the
Yes.
feedback part. But I think in terms of like accepting feedback,
I was a
it's funny because it's super easy for also everyone. On the flip side, to be the other person is to someone that doesn't know that much. I know we've been in this situation, and sometimes it does sound like this, even if we've been in the space for a little while now. It's very easy for someone to say you should have done this, you should have done that, you could have done this and this and that and that and that. But it's easier said than done, and
yeah.
I know that's like so like cliche to say, but the reality is that it's true. Like an idea is so easily said. of the what if you did this, you should have done that. Like I think this idea would have been better than this idea to someone in business, but you could have also they could have also followed that direction and maybe it didn't also work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I
I think
think
it's easier to hear it from someone that's actively doing it versus someone that is just not even doing anything. If that makes
mm,
sense, you know? Because I find myself doing that where I'll hear somebody out, and I mean, I honestly hear everybody out whenever they give me like feedback or something like that. That's just how I am. I'll accept any feedback, but hearing it from someone that is doing it or has done it already and that's like either above or at the same level as us, I'll be straight up. Like I take it a lot more serious. Where it's just like, oh shit. Well,
mm,
maybe we should think about these things also. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I 100% agree. Like, I think taking in all the information and the feedback is super important and
Yeah.
trying to apply what fits best to the direction you're trying to take your things into. But I think I still stand for sure on the it's super easy for everyone to have an opinion on something. And if you try to make everyone happy and you try to follow everyone's advice, you're going to be so caught up on everyone's advice, everyone's opinions that you're not going to get anything done.
I'm gonna try to please everybody.
And we've been in that situation
Yeah.
where we've plotted something that we thought was a really good idea. Then someone else said, oh, like all this information that was completely opposite of what we thought we were doing right. So then we try to change our plan. We change our plan. We do what we thought was the right thing because someone recommended it. And then we realize we should have just stuck with what we already had in progress. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
And so sometimes you are part of your own downfall for not blocking out some of the noise and letting it consume your vision, right? Like you have to stand on your vision. You have to believe in what you're doing is right because at the end of the day there is no right and wrong in business. It's I mean there is for some things obviously like but you, you can go right with something so random that someone would have never guessed was going to work out. You know what I mean? And you
Yes.
can do everything right and go wrong still.
That's so true,
You know what
dude.
I
Yeah.
mean? And so I think like a lot of people fail to see that part of it.
Yeah. And I think also like, dude, people don't want to be like, if it's someone that they care about or someone that they take like a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also harder for them not to try to please them and make them happy.
That's true.
It just depends.
I'd be like, hell no, kick rocks.
Dude,
Just like,
yeah. Yeah, kick rocks.
all right, so next it's gonna be is playing it safe actually risky? Hell yes. I already said this in the beginning. You can play your card super safe, put all your money in the bank, have a savings account with all this money in it that's not accruing anything for you, probably like 0.001% of interest.
Yep.
That's like pennies on the dollar while the bank is using your money to loan out to other people. Because if you think that you got 20,000 sitting in the bank just sitting there, that's false.
That's 20 cents.
So I think playing it safe is super, super risky. It could work. That's not. I'm not saying that playing it safe is wrong or that you can't have a decent life if you make good money. Like if you just want to put your money in the bank and like have a 401k and you feel like you have a good 401k and the combination of your savings and you have everything paid off, your house, your car, all that stuff is good, then that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. That's a safe route to live. That's like the American dream, right?
That is the American dream.
But
Yes,
I
correct.
think for someone that wants something more than that, wants to get out of an apartment situation, wants to move out of their parents' house and have their own house in today's market, someone that
Sheesh.
wants to maybe live alone, right? They don't have a partner, they don't have friends to move in with or whatever, and they want a house still. If you're not making well over six figures, good luck on your own. You know,
Dude,
nowadays
yeah.
apartments are like 25 to 3K easily in the like
Easily.
not those nice areas. Nice areas you're looking at like 4 to 5K. So think about that. That's for an apartment. You're looking at a house about the same. You're not looking at property tax. You're not looking at insurance. You're looking at utilities. So if you're not making at least 5,000 for just a mortgage payment, that you can put aside for that, then good luck. You need to be making at least 8 to 10K a month to live comfortable. You know what I mean? So and
Yeah.
that's 100K a
Yeah.
year.
And I would say that's for like someone that's like a newer buyer that has no equity at all, like
Mm-hmm.
no any assets outside of that to like invest in, because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, dude, that shit adds up real fucking quick.
Yeah, dude.
It's
So
not the
easy.
same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Like times are way different from like your parents or our parents. Like, dude, my dad got the first house I think for like 80 grand or
Not 80
70
grand.
grand,
There's no
bro.
way.
I swear to
Not
God.
this one.
No, not this one.
Oh, his old
The
old
other
house.
one
Oh, I was like,
by Las Palmas. It's like a couple blocks down the street from here.
yeah, I was
Dude,
about to
I
say.
think it was like my grandpa was telling me like, or my dad was telling me it's like I think like 75 grand, bro. And yes, they were
Sheesh.
obviously making a lot less, but it's completely different, guys. I hate when I hear older people saying like, "Well, it's the same thing because you make more money." It's like, dude, it's not the same, bro.
Hell
Another
no.
topic. I'm about to get sidetracked, but don't get
Yeah, I
discouraged
think
at
Pops
that
just
fact.
unsubscribed right now.
No, but like, see that his investment in that house was able to get him this
No,
house
yeah,
over
yeah, yeah.
here, and then from there the bigger house,
Which
and
is
now,
crazy, huh?
dude, it's crazy because like it's like the
Yeah,
stepping stones,
Pops.
right?
Whenever you want to move back to the valley, just let me know.
But see, that's what's crazy, bro. Like the valley has gotten so fucking expensive. As if he was even to sell like the Lancaster house, like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost not even worth it coming back because of how fucking expensive the
Dude,
houses are
yeah,
out here,
yeah.
dude.
You're downsizing
It's
for sure.
stupid.
You're
Yeah, you're
downsizing,
downsizing.
which is
Downsizing. It
honestly, if I was just
sucks,
in
dude.
shoes, like, yeah, dude, for what he has now, I'm like, fuck
I would have
that.
moved to Narnia.
Yeah, dude, I'm moving to like Bakersfield, dude, in the fields.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we need to buy some land.
So what would you say is the biggest risk of staying exactly where you are?
The biggest risk of
Hells
staying where
yeah.
you're at, no progress. You don't. If you're staying where you're at, dude, you're not moving forward. And if you're
Mhm.
not moving forward, dude, that's risky, dude. Because what if you lose your job? What if you
Dude,
lose? What if your
yeah.
car breaks down? What if you freaking can't make your next payment on your house or something,
Yeah.
right? Dude,
Yeah, you couldn't have said that any better actually because I don't know if you guys know this, but like statistically, it's recommended to have about 6 months worth of your like livelihood
financials.
expenses saved up for in case if you get laid off, if there's an emergency or
Yeah.
whatever. You should have about 6 months saved up just for that in your bank or somewhere
Yes.
to be, reachable in a short period of time of like I got laid off tomorrow. I should have 6 months worth of my expenses saved up somewhere so
Mm-hmm.
that I can stay afloat until I get another job.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I mean, don't quote me on this percent, but I would say probably 95, if not more percent of the people in the world don't even have that.
Yeah. No.
Like they
I.
live close to check, don't save any money, and if they do, it's like pennies on the dollar. Where it's like, oh, maybe I have like $100 this week or this month extra to put away, or the extra money goes into like a car loan, or the extra money goes into student loans, or extra money goes into medical expenses, whatever the case is. And it's like a revolving wheel. They're never getting out of this stuff. So I think like the riskiest part to like what you're saying is you're not making any progress. Like you're living years and years and years and years of your life on this cycle versus what if you figured out a way to make an extra $100 to $200 a month, right? Think about that.
Which is not that hard.
Which is not that hard, but that in itself can pay probably like your student loans or can pay your gas for the year, can pay your car insurance for the year,
Share credit
can
cards.
pay your credit card, can pay groceries, can
Mm-hmm.
pay something on the side. Like people are stuck with I don't have anything, I don't know a skill, I don't know nothing, and I'm okay where I'm at. Or maybe
Yeah.
I'm not okay with where I'm at, but it's risky for me to try anything else because I'm broke. But I'm like, what if you figured out how to make $100 extra a month, guys? In 30 days, all you need to do is make $100 extra.
Yeah. And then that's it, like
Th-
your fun money
Yeah.
to go
And if you
out
are
and do
fine, like, what if
something,
you're
dude.
okay? Like, if you
Yeah.
are able to make turn $100 to $200 in a month span, now you can go out and have lunch with your friends once a month on this side hustle money versus your actual 9 to 5 money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
yeah,
it
douche.
when you put it into perspective in small amounts, it's like, damn, dude.
Yeah,
Think
it
about it. It's
sounds a lot, like a lot.
$20,
A week,
$25 a week that you need to make extra. Dude, people panhandle more than that in one day.
bro. Facts, actually.
So
Yeah.
like think about it. You if you can't figure out how to make $25 extra a week on something on the side, flip something, sell a old shirt, sell some old hoodies or some clothes, do a yard sale. I know a lot of you guys have old clothes you guys don't wear. Sell your old clothes, bro. Do
Dog,
shit. Like
I'm about to sell my
take it
Hot
to
Wheels.
dude, there's so many ways. And the risk that you guys are doing is risking to not take the chance on
Mm-hmm.
making an extra $10, making an
Yeah,
extra
yeah, dude.
five here, an extra 10 there. Like it's crazy.
Hey, I made $33 overnight with crypto.
Not doing anything
Not doing
besides
shit, dude.
pressing two buttons.
Two buttons,
I
chat.
sent him a message at midnight saying, "Yo, did you see this?" He was like, "I'm about to buy right now."
Dude.
I fell asleep and fucked up, but it's all good.
Yeah, we want to go get coffee. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm like $40 up right now.
I
He's like, for real?
was like, "Fuck." It went back up. uh,
But see, it's like those little things where it's like, dude, yes, it's obviously risky. Like, who knows? You know, it could have kept crashing and I could have
yeah.
lost $30. But I was like, dude, you know what? Paying attention to like the charts and the way it's going, you do invest a little bit of time and knowledge as far as like where the market as
Mm-hmm.
where the market is at, you know, and then you take your risk based off on that, and then you could
Yep.
possibly gain, right?
Yeah.
But everything comes with a freaking risk, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's crypto, whether it's selling old stuff. You can go to the swap meet and not sell a thing, right? And you end up paying for a spot.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also go to the swap meet, pay for the spot, and triple your money and sell all your stuff. So everything
Facts.
comes with the risks. Excuse me, with the risks.
So, which is worst, failing or wondering what if?
Dude,
Obviously, we
what
already know.
if, dude? Dude, I would. Hell nah, bro.
Yeah, I could,
I
dude. I
can't.
mean, we've kind of already said this
Yeah,
too,
we
but
already
I
said
wouldn't. I
this.
wouldn't want to be on my deathbed like wondering, dang, what if I did this? What if I took the chance on that? What if I took the promotion? What if I invested in this brand? What if I learned this? What if I just took that vacation? I
What if I
think
started sooner?
exactly. I think it's important to think about when you are at that time to leave Earth, whether it's, no one knows when their time's gonna come. It comes at the time. But if we had 10 minutes to live on this earth, would you be okay with the direction you were living your life? Was the chances you were taking for you? Are you living for you, or are you living for someone else? So I think like it's important to think about all those things, and if you're happy, then you're happy. Like if you can truly sit and say, I've done everything, or I'm doing everything in my capabilities to provide for myself, for my family, for I'm chasing my dreams and my visions and my goals. And with the resources that I have, I might not have all the resources, but I'm trending in that direction of achieving certain things to help me reach the next level. Then I would say you are winning in life, and like I think you're going in the right direction.
Yeah,
But
bro.
if you're currently hating your current situations, you're unhappy with everything that's going on around you. You're playing the victim. You're doing like I am not meant for this. I'm not meant for that. This ultra rich are ultra rich because they got things handed to them. They didn't have to work as hard. I'm the victim here. Like you're blaming everything else but your actions. Then you need to reflect. And
Yeah.
I think you need to think about what can you do to make your situation better. There's always an option. There's always a choice. And again, we're gonna say this again: is if you're not changing anything, nothing is changing. So,
Yeah,
well, you're
bro.
not changing, you're choosing.
Dude, yeah. Bro, you fucking hit that shit right on the nail, bro.
Drop on the mic.
Dude, yeah, it's so true, bro. It's
Yeah,
so true, dog. I,
but
I don't even got nothing to say to that, chat.
damn, I can't
Dude, that
top
was
that.
the
Cause
fuck.
Yeah, so I
That was
think
on
we'll
point.
leave you guys with that banger of an episode because we just dropping bars out here, guys.
Barology.
That was a bar. He said barology. That's funny. But yeah,
Shit.
guys, I hope you guys can take something away from this episode, like a little deep dive into the importance of, understanding what it costs to be comfortable
Yeah.
and the opportunities that you could potentially be risking.
Mm-hmm.
If you're currently in a bad situation, just remember there's always a bright side to things, but you have to be willing to put the work in.
Definitely.
It's not gonna just fall on your lap. I can guarantee you that shit for
No.
sure. You got to be willing to clock in after you clock out of work.
The
You got
worst.
to be willing to clock in for an extra 12 hours after doing the 12-hour shift. You got to be willing to have sleepless nights. You got to be willing to do shit when you're tired, when you don't want to, when there's no motivation, when shit doesn't work. That's what it's going to cost. And that shit with anything, whether it's business, personal, anything like it this is like full, like total life experience stuff.
Yeah.
It
And just
translates
to
everywhere.
add to that too, you gotta also be willing to separate yourself from people that are not who
Mm-hmm.
you want to be. Like your inner circle, like dude, if your inner circle is not going to support you and push you to do better, then you have to be willing to push. It sounds fucked up, but you got to be willing to push them to the side and say,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like, I'm sorry, but I got these things that I need to do.
Yeah. Kick
You know,
rocks.
you can't, you gotta, it can be optional. It has to be like, dude, I'm sorry, but I have to do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that is also a big thing that I see where it's like, bro, well, it's just because my friends, like, they wanted to go do these things. It's like, but dude, you have the option. Like, we have free will for these things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We live in America, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you have the choice too. So
Yeah.
again, nothing changes if nothing changes. You're not willing to change these things, dude, then you're not gonna see any progression in your life and you're gonna stay where you're at.
Facts. Well, guys, that wraps up that episode with the barologies.
Arology.
You guys already know what to do. Smash the subscribe button, the like button. If you guys see the hype button on there, hit the hype button. Comment. Keep subscribing, chat. I seen you guys. We've been going up. We are at
Ooh, 75?
100,000 views
Oh
for the
yeah.
year already in 6 months, which is crazy. We thought we were gonna
Dude.
be at 25,000, but
25.
we surpassed that. We're gonna keep crushing it. But we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.